بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful.
لم يكن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين منفكين حتى تأتيهم البينة.
Those who disbelieved among the people of the scripture and the polytheists were not to be parted from misbelief until there came to them clear evidence.
رسول من الله يتلو صحفا مطهرة.
A messenger from Allah reciting purified scriptures
فيها كتب قيمة.
within which are correct writings.
وما تفرق الذين أوتوا الكتاب إلا من بعد ما جاءتهم البينة.
Nor did those who were given the scripture become divided until after there had come to them clear evidence.
وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا الله مخلصين له الدين حنفاء ويقيموا الصلاة ويؤتوا الزكاة وذلك دين القيمة.
And they were not commanded except to worship Allah, being sincere to Him in religion, inclining to truth, and to establish prayer and to give zakah. And that is the correct religion.
إن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين في نار جهنم خالدين فيها أولئك هم شر البرية.
Indeed, they who disbelieved among the people of the scripture and the polytheists will be in the fire of hell, abiding eternally therein. Those are the worst of creatures.
إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أولئك هم خير البرية.
Indeed, they who have believed and done righteous deeds, those are the best of creatures.
جزاؤهم عند ربهم جنات عدن تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه ذلك لمن خشي ربه.
Their reward with Allah will be gardens of perpetual residence, beneath which rivers flow, wherein they will abide forever, Allah being pleased with them and they with Him. That is for whoever has feared his Lord.
Today, we're diving into a really short but incredibly profound chapter from the Quran, Surah Al-Bayyinah, which means the clear evidence. And it presents this fascinating paradox about truth that really makes you think. And it kind of flips a common assumption we all have on its head. Just think about it for a second. Imagine you're waiting for that one single piece of proof that's going to clear everything up, unite everyone, and finally settle all the arguments. But what if, when that proof finally showed up, it actually made things worse? What if it created more conflict? That is the wild question right at the very heart of this chapter.
All right, so first we got to set the scene. The surah paints a picture of a world that's, well, it's basically in a spiritual stalemate. The very first verse tells us about two major groups of people. You've got the people of the book, which means the Jews and Christians, and then you have the polytheists, the idol worshippers. And both groups were completely dug in. They were basically saying, nope, we're not budging from our beliefs. They were waiting for something specific to happen. And here's the kicker. They set the condition themselves. They made it known that they would only change their ways after and only after the arrival of Al-Bayyinah, the clear evidence. That was the line in the sand that they drew. Okay, so the obvious question is, what is this clear evidence they were holding out for? Well, The surah doesn't mess around. It defines it for us, very, very clearly. Now, this is so important to get. Al-Bayyinah isn't just, a book that drops from the sky. It's way more than that. Think of it like a complete package, a whole system of guidance delivered to humanity. So let's unpack this package. It has 3 main parts. First up, you get a messenger directly from God. That's Prophet Muhammad. He's the delivery system. Second, he's reciting scriptures that are described as pure, totally untainted. And third, inside those scriptures, you find the actual rules for living, laws that are right and straight, a perfect moral compass, essentially. So their condition has been met, right? The clear evidence they asked for has arrived. You'd think everybody would get on the same page and we'd see unity. Well, not exactly. This is where the chapter hits us with its stunning central paradox. You have to pay close attention to the timing here. The verse says the big split, the division, happened after the clear evidence came. Isn't that wild? The very thing that was supposed to bring everyone together became the very reason for the breakdown, especially among the people of the book. This just forces you to ask the million-dollar question. How on earth does crystal clear proof lead to more division? Was the message itself just too complicated or controversial? Well, the surah answers that question for us right away. To understand what happened, we need to look at what the commands inside this clear evidence actually were. And what we find isn't some big, complex doctrine, but something radically simple. Yeah, it turns out all that chaos and division wasn't caused by some difficult-to-understand law or a deep philosophical riddle. The message was simply a call to get back to the absolute basics of faith, the foundation that had always been there, but had maybe gotten buried under centuries of human traditions. So what were these core commands? They're pretty straightforward. First, worship the one God with pure, sincere devotion. Second, be true in your faith. Third, establish regular prayer. And fourth, practice regular charity. That's it. That's the whole shebang. And then the surah drives the point home with this powerful statement. This simple path is the religion right and straight. The implication is so clear. The message itself wasn't the problem. The problem was how people reacted to it and how it challenged all the extra stuff they had built up around their faith. So with this super clear message on the table and this divided response from the people, the chapter wraps up by laying out 2 totally different outcomes. It all depends on one choice, to accept the evidence or to reject it. And wow, the consequences are laid out in black and white. No gray area. On one side, you have those who reject the truth, and it doesn't matter if they're from the people of the book or the polytheists. They're called the worst of creatures, and their destination is the hellfire, forever. But on the other side, you have those who combine their faith with doing good deeds. They're called the best of creatures. And their reward? It's described in this absolutely beautiful detail. We're talking eternal gardens with rivers flowing beneath them, a place they'll live in forever. But honestly, it goes even deeper than a physical paradise. The ultimate reward is this amazing state of mutual contentment. God is pleased with them, and they are completely and utterly pleased with him. So, who gets this incredible reward? The surah says it's for those who fear their Lord. Now, fear here doesn't mean being scared. It's more about having a profound sense of awe, of reverence, of respect. It points to having a deep, conscious relationship with the divine, not just going through the motions. So, in the end, Surah Al-Bayyinah boils everything down to a clear message and a clear choice. And it leaves us with this timeless, powerful question to think about. If the essential truth is so simple and straightforward, what is it inside of us, our pride, our traditions, our own egos, that can make something so simple, so incredibly difficult to accept?